Okay, am I audible now? Hello, are you able to hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm audible, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, fine. So in today's class, we're gonna start the question and answers, which
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
sir.
yeah,
Can you share the screen?
yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, are you able to see the screen? Hello, hello.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're able to see the screen, right? So
Yes.
you must have received this question and answer word, which I've already shared. So you can see that in this word, there are quite a few question and
Sir,
answer.
sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I didn't get any question.
Okay, you haven't got it. Okay. So I will
Yes.
send it to you. Not a problem. Right. So there are a
Yeah,
few
okay.
samples which I sent earlier. You might not have received. So I will send it today. So you can go through this question and answer. So these are basically those question and answers which are being asked in quite a few big four MNC companies. These questions being asked. Okay. So these are the live questions which are asked in the interviews. So you can see here are a few questions as in like what is edoc, what is logbox, what is and how we do the FIMM integration, field status group, right? So these all are questions which are related to FIC only and their integrations and how the tax codes are maintained. So basically whatever you have learned, right? On that only these questions are being asked. So these are basically the list of question and answers which are there. So you can see these questions are being asked in Capgemini and for HP and Wipro. Then there are many companies. So there are only few samples which are there, right? I have a list of it, uh, around 4 or 5 pages question and answers list is there. So I will share it with you so that you can go through it and you can learn all the question and answers so that in the interview round, it would be easy for you to answer all the question and answers. At the same time, I would also suggest when you are learning this question and answer booklet, at the same time, you see the practicals of it on the system also, so that you are aware that whatever questions are being asked, you also have the practical knowledge of it, right? So this was an overview about the question and answers, which I'm going to share with you, and you can learn all those question and answers which are already been asked in the interviews, right? And if you attend any of the interviews, you will be getting all the question and answer from these question and answers only, right? So hardly there would be any questions which are being asked outside this question and answer, but mostly the questions will and answers will be asked from this question and answers only. Okay, so let's move on to the resume preparation part. Okay, let me show you few resumes. Okay, are you able to see the screen? If not, please tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Are you able to see this CV of Paranit B I have opened? You
No,
can see
sir.
this.
I'm just seeing the question and answers.
Okay, let me just share it again. Okay, let me just share.
Mm.
Okay, are you able to see now? Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you must have prepared CV. If not, if you are preparing it for the first time, so you first need to mention your name, and you need to mention the profile you are applying for, right? So if you will be applying for, let's say, freshers, still you need to mention your name and try to make this the CV as simple as you can. Don't make it complex, because as you are a fresher, so obviously you won't be having any kind of experience, right? But you would be having the knowledge of the product which you are applying for. So first of all, you need to mention your name, then the consultant which you are. If you are FICO consultant, then you can mention the FICO consultant, then your email ID and the mobile number. So when you are mentioning your email ID and your mobile number, so the email ID which you are mentioning, ensure to have a very simple and professional email ID, because most of the students, what they do, they write email ID in such a way like they don't get it as per their choice when they're trying to create the email ID, but try to make it as simple as you can. As in, like, let's suppose, if in your case, if you are creating your email ID, try to create as Srinivas. Then if it is numeric, then a simple numeric of 1 or 2 digit, then gmail.com, or let's suppose yahoo.com, or any whatever medium you are applying, uh, you're trying to create the Gmail, you can create it, but try to make it simple as you can. And then under the professional summary, you can see here, in this area you need to mention the skills which you have in the SAP FICO domain. Let's suppose here in on the top you can see it says total 3.5 years or 4 years of exposure. So you don't have to mention it. You simply need to just delete this, and you can simply mention that you have the experience of SAP, or you don't have the experience. You should simply mention that SAP FICO consultant. Have you done any internship anywhere, Srinivas?
No, sir.
No. So you don't have to write any internship. You simply mention that the skills which you are aware of, right? So you just leave this field. So here, wherever you see worked or experience, you just need to delete all this. You just need to mention the points which you are aware of it. Let's suppose the first part, see on the top, you mention your name and the SAP consultant, then the email ID and the mobile. Then under the professional summary, you just mention the skills which you have. Let's suppose here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 points are mentioned. As in, you know about the SAP methodology. You mention, I know about the SAP methodology. Later, you mention that you have a good knowledge of GL, then accounts payable, accounts receivable, asset accounting, controlling. Then you have the knowledge of FIMM integration, FISD integration, and make sure that whatever you mention on your CV, you are confident enough to answer all the questions. Because whenever you submit your CV and whenever the HR picks up, so they are not going to ask anything extra apart from the CV. They will be asking only the question and answers relevant to your CV, whatever you have mentioned in your CV. So let's suppose there are 6 points which are already mentioned here, right? You can add more points. I will show you the next CV, this one. Tell me if you are able to see the screen. Okay, in this screen you can see what it has mentioned: strong understanding of corporate finance and accounting procedures. Not this one. Here, here in this point you can see. So I'm just talking about the first point which you need to mention about the SAP skills which you have. No need to mention any experience or anything or fresher. You just need to mention SAP skills or SAP summary, which you are mentioning that what all you know in SAP, that you have a good knowledge of SAP methodology, you know what is as is to be document, right? So when the interviewer asks you, okay, tell me something about as is to be document, or what is SAP methodology, what is business blueprint, what is cutover activity, right? What we do in the realization phase, or what we do post go live of the project. So you should be having the idea, you should be having the knowledge what exactly the interviewer asking, irrespective of whether you are experienced or you are fresher. Even though you are a fresher and you know the answers of the questions are being asked by the interviewer, then you are good to go for that position. Okay. So in the first column, you simply mention the skills which you are aware of, right? The finance part and the controlling part. So here I will show you quite a few CVs, 4 5 CVs I have here as a sample, which I will also share you. So I will be sharing you around, let's suppose, uh, 10 to 15 CVs as a sample. You can refer all those CVs and you can create of your own, right? I will also share you the actual CVs which are being used uh, uh, for applying this position, right? You can refer to those CVs and you can create one of your CVs accordingly. And you can share the CV to me so that I can have a review of it and I can share it, the feedback. Okay. So in the first top point, you just mention the skills which you have in this SAP FI and CO uh, domain. Okay. So there are a couple of resumes which I will share you, and from that you can pick up all the skills which you have. And in the first SAP summary, you can mention all the points which you are aware of. Even though if you're not aware of, you can simply mention it, and later when you get time, you just go through it and review it. Okay. So let's come to the next point. So here you will be mentioning all the SAP part, as in FI and CO integration, whatever you know, everything. Now after that, whatever technical skills you have, technical skills as in you must be aware of, uh, or you must have done some computer courses as in MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or SAP, which version you know. You know ECC, or you know as for HANA, or you know Fury. What all you know, you just mention that under your technical skills. Let's suppose if you know MS Word, mention that you know MS Word, Excel, or if you know any language, you can mention here as in C, C++, Java, any language which you know, you can mention the language over here. If you have done any ERP training apart from SAP, if you know any other ERP software, let's suppose if you know Tally, you can mention over here that you know Tally. Tally also, there are many versions. You can mention you know Tally 6, or you know Tally 4, 7, Tally ERP, Tally Prime, right? Or Oracle Finance, JD Edwards. If you know any ERP product apart from SAP, you can simply mention over here, right? And MS, it's but obvious that MS is very important. So you mention your MS details, as in you know MS Office, you know MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, the complete MS package you can mention over here. Apart from that, if you have any other skills of any product, you can mention the same under your technical skills, right? Next step, you can move on to your education part. Education, so you can mention, so you can start from the descending part, as in first of all you will mention your CBSE or C or state board, whatever board you have. So from which board you have passed your 10th, then your 12th, then your graduation, when you pursued. So accordingly you can mention. So the idea is on the top, you should be having your latest qualification details, as in if you have completed your BCom or BA or BSc, or you are pursuing MBA or any other professional degree you have posed. So you can mention all the educational details here, right? According along with the university and the state you have completed your education. Okay. Next, you can move on to. So here you can see in the CV, as because it is an experienced one, he has mentioned the companies which he has worked for, right? So you don't have to mention the companies which you have worked for because you are fresher. So you can simply mention the product uh, on the top, then your educational, your technical, your hobbies, like the general CV which you create. But the main thing which is be noticed is your SAP uh, you know module, and on this modules what all skills you have, right? So you try to cover all those points on the top, and then you mention your your address and your declaration and your signature, and then you can simply save it, right? I will also share few of the freshers CV so that you can go through it and you can see what all details are mentioned there, and accordingly you can mention it. Just because you don't have any experience, so you don't need to mention any experience in any of your CV, and nor you have any internship uh, you haven't done any internship, so you're not required to mention any of the internship details on your CV. So you can see here, if I will show you, let's suppose project. So here you can see that he has mentioned that is worked for a company called Hexa Infotech, and in this company, what was their roles and responsibilities, and what was the project. So it was basically implementation project, right? And in this implementation project, what was their role and responsibility? So what they did actually. So here you can see they have mentioned the complete description, what was their roles and responsibilities, what they used to do in the implementation project, right? So you can see the assistant to be document, then creation of GL, then accounts payable, accounts receivable, integration. So you can see they have mentioned the same point which we discussed earlier, which was there on the top, right? It's just that that point has come down because they have worked and they have mentioned in their experience profile the same thing. So it's there's no difference. It's the only difference that they have worked and they have experience in a company. That's the reason they have mentioned that under the experience section of it. What you need to do exactly is you need to write the complete points which are mentioned here under your SAP summary details, so that you are confident enough that these are the things which you are fully aware of, right? As in like how to create the cost center, how to create the profit center. You must have learned that in the class, so you should be knowing how to create it, right? Simply you just mention those points under the summary section, and you can uh, upload the same in the any of the job portal. So this was about how to create a CV, right? Let's move on to the next topic. I will show you how you can apply on the portals and which portals you should apply. Okay. Okay. So do you have any ID created in the Naukri, Srinivas? Hello.
Yes, sir.
You have Naukri.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to understand that You don't have to create your profile everywhere. You simply need to create or your profile on Naukri, Indeed, and LinkedIn. These three places are sufficient enough to get a response from the interviewer. Okay. So have you applied any job on Naukri portal for SAP domain? Have you applied?
Yeah, few companies I applied, but
You have
I
applied.
didn't get any response.
Have you applied on LinkedIn?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you applied on Indeed?
No, sir.
No.
I
Okay.
didn't have any paper.
And did you apply on Naukri?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you get any response?
I didn't get any response. Just I got that they view my resume.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, the reason why you're not getting
So
because, yeah, tell me.
I didn't get any response from the recruiters.
See, two things you need to understand why you're not getting a call back from the HR. First of all, the resume which you prepare that has to contain what actually the requirement is, right? So first of all, you need to, I will share few of the samples of the company's requirement, right? So let's suppose the company is required x y z skills of a particular candidate, and if you don't possess those candidates, why they would hire you? Let's suppose if I need a plumber, right? So if I need a plumber, so he should be having the skill of that plumbing, right? He should be knowing how to fix the pipe, how to do the connections, how to flow the water from which connections. So the plumber should also mention in his skill that these is the skills I have, right? Irrespective of whether he's experienced or fresher. So interviewer will ask the question to a fresher whether he knows whatever my requirement is, and if he is able to answer all these requirements, then obviously he will get selected, right? And slowly and gradually, when you are in the process, you would learn the process automatically. Now, when you are applying for the SAP, what happens? If the session gets ended, kindly join in with the same link. Okay. So
Yeah, okay, sir.
what happens? So when you apply for a job, so you should understand what all skills the interviewer is basically looking for, right? So here, first of all, you need to create your resume in such a way that you are fit for the job. So I have showed you what all you need to mention the points. So try to mention uh, as much points as you can on your CV regarding your SAP skills, right? So uh, I've showed you few sample resume. So from that you can pick and add on your CV. Okay, first thing. Okay, and also before we move on to the CV part, so whenever you create a CV, don't try to copy and paste the details of somebody onto your CV, right? Because what happens? So let's suppose if you have a CV, right? Let me just take you through. Just give me 1 minute. So you can see the CV. So here in the CV, if you edit something, what you think that okay, this is CV. Why should I create a new CV? Let make some edit here, name change here, email ID edit here, do some edit, and you simply save it and you will upload it. But that is the wrong practice. Because if you will do any changes over this here, you can see, first of all, this name would reflect on this document, this name. Even though if you will change this document, rename it, right, it will show in the background. Let's suppose if I go here and if I go, uh, let's suppose there is one option wherein you can see who is uh, the proprietor, you can say, of this particular word. right? Who is the original creator of this word file. So don't do that. Try to create a new word. Then on new word, you can copy and paste few things from here to there. But don't try to edit something in the existing document and then mentioning your name over there. That is not going to work. Okay, because most of the people they does it, and that is where they get stuck. Because when you do that changes in this document, they still be able to reflect the original creator who has created this word file. Okay, so ensure that you don't create anything on this CV. Create a new word and write all those points over there and create a CV accordingly, a fresh CV altogether. Okay, now let's move on to the job portal. Okay, just give me one. Okay, here. So whenever you are applying, so first of all you need to register yourself. You must know how to register yourself, and then you need to click on I'm a fresher and you upload your CV. Right, same you need to do in Indeed. You need to create your profile. Right, you need to create your profile, and then you need to upload your CV. Right, you need to create your profile and you need to upload your CV. Just give me 1 minute. And then the same way you need to create a profile in LinkedIn, and then you can upload your you can mention about your profile, and then you can upload your CV. So I will show you how you can create a Naukri your profile and how you can apply on it. Okay, just give me 1 minute. And also when you apply on Naukri, right? So let's suppose when you have applied today, and if you're not getting any response, let's suppose in 2 3 days or a week's time. So in and let's suppose in a week's time, after a week, you try to refresh the job portal. Okay, I will tell you how you can refresh it so that it would like reflect as a fresh application. Because what happens, the recruiter hires only the fresh applications, the fresh applicants which has applied, right? So let's suppose if you have applied today and you are waiting for 1 month time, and you will think that okay, I applied last month and I will get this month, or let's suppose next month. So that is not going to happen, right? Because most of the interviewer, they uh, try to uh, get those applicants who have recently applied. Okay, so try to refresh it. I will show you how you can refresh it. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so yeah, let's create one login. Let's suppose, let's me see if I have. Okay, so here you can see this profile is already created long back by me. So can you see here? It says there is a requirement of KPMG India. They need 4 to 9 years of experience. Okay, so here you can see the list of those. So you need to see the freshers, right? Search for job. So can you see here? Hello, hello, Srinivas.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can see that when I have entered fresher, so there are jobs in fresher domain also. See 0 to 3 years. right? It's not that the companies are not looking for freshers. They are also looking for freshers, but you need to represent yourself that you have that much of skill, that much of knowledge to get this job, right? You can see 0 to 3 years. We take IT solutions. They are looking for a SAP FICO consultant, right? Now, when you see here, what you need to see also that what the skills they are looking for. Okay, I think they have not mentioned the skills over here. We need a country location our reputed clients, companies with remote location. Okay, and they're going to share your CV. So they have not mentioned the skills, but what happens if you see there are companies, they also mention the skills they are, looking for. So let's suppose if I, so there are companies, see, there are many companies who are looking for 0 to 2 years, right? A number of companies are there. So it would be wrong saying that if you are a fresher and you're not getting a job. It's just that you should be knowing the right way to apply and where to apply. What all points you need to mention on your CV, say that your CV gets selected. First and the foremost thing is your CV to get selected. Then once your CV is selected and you get a call from the HR that they want to schedule an interview, then 25% of the work is done. In the remaining 75%, again 50% work is done. Again 25% work is done when they schedule the interview. Now the 50% is your skill that you are able to uh, clear the rounds, the interview rounds or not. Right? We're less than 1 minute. I think the session will get disconnected. Kindly rejoin again with the same link. Okay. Okay, Srinivas. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think it will get disconnected. You can join back with the same link. I will show you how you can apply and what all important points you need to mention on your CV and the job portal which you are applying so that
Yeah,
your
okay.
CV gets selected. So what I was saying is if your 25% is done when your CV gets selected, 25% is done when your job interview is